Let's make Mary Me pasta together. This is what I made for dinner tonight. All right, I started with my shallots, my garlic paste, and some sun-dried tomato oil, as well as some regular olive oil in there. I'm just gonna give these a nice mix and let them cook it down first. It already smells amazing, and we're not even halfway done. All right, since I did not add chicken into this recipe, I put all my seasonings in my tomato paste itself and just gave it a good mix. Here's all the seasonings I used. They're also in the caption. All right, these are cooked good enough for me. I'm gonna put 3 tablespoons of that tomato paste into this. I'm gonna cook this down. I want it to be a nice dark red color. I'm also gonna mix in those shallots and garlic paste. I know a lot of y'all like to cook things on high. I'm guilty as well. But we're gonna keep this nice and low and slow. Actually, I'm on medium. But keep this nice and low and slow and just continuously mix this while it's getting dark because it will burn to the bottom if you don't. I added the heavy whipping cream in, and that was about 2 cups, and I'm just mixing that into the tomato paste. And once it gets a little darker in color, we'll go ahead and add in 2 tablespoons of sun-dried tomatoes. I'm just gonna go ahead and mix those in. They're gonna add a little bit more color, and then I'm gonna let this simmer for like 5-10 minutes. I'm gonna take my shredded Parmesan. I'm gonna add about half a cup, mix that in, and if it's not as thick as I want, I'm gonna add another half a cup. All right, half a cup is not enough for my liking, so I am gonna go ahead and add in another half a cup to make like a whole cup of cheese. I whisk in a little bit at a time just to let it fully melt before adding more, because you don't want to get a huge glob of cheese in there. And before I drain my pasta, I'm gonna take just a little bit of that, just in case the sauce does get too thick. Right. This is what my pasta sauce is looking like now. It's very thick, so I'm gonna add just a bit of water into it, and then what you want to do is taste it, make sure it's to your liking, and then we can add the pasta in there. I added the tiniest bit of water just to soften it up. Let's see. Much better. Much better. Get a little spoon. That is perfect. And I add a little bit of Cajun seasoning back in there, but that's so good. Time to add our noodles. I think I made a little bit too much, so I'm just gonna scoop it in there and see. I was correct. You probably can use about 3/4 of a cup, but oh my god, it looks so good. I'm gonna take some parsley and just sprinkle it over top, and then it should be done. And this is the Mary Me chicken pasta.